That's
Why can't they see my...
bizarre. I have the stream streaming the stream. I'll stop that. Okay, so... Okay, let's start all over again.
It's nuts, man.
Let's start all over again. I don't even know how many minutes we are in. I know we're about 168 megabytes in. Anyway, no. Blue Gamer Bluecast episode 57 with Mike, normal, regular of the Blue Gamer Bluecast.
Regular Sean, who's missed like 30 episodes, but yeah. I'm a regular. I'm cool with that.
It's between you and my brother who have been on the most. Hayden, which I was trying to get him on today, but I couldn't get hold of him, has been on quite a bit. But,
Slacker.
So, Sean, he doesn't really talk, so he was like, I don't need to be on this time. I was like, all right, that's fine. So what I did was I've learned a lot of how to use XSplit. If anyone is curious, ask me, because I did so much research that wasn't out there. I need to make a blog post about how to use this and how to create these templates where you see my web.
I don't know if you're really the technical master you may think you may be, because you're crazy lagging right now. I don't know. This is nuts.
That's got to be something. Yeah, see, drop frames detected. Oh my god. Anyway, we'll go on because this is going to be recorded. And someone's calling on the phone. It's like, not right now. Okay.
How unprofessional. Jeez.
I know. What is it with me? Anyway, let's talk about what we've been playing this week. Mike, if you want to start off.
If I started I feel like I'm getting picked on. It's always first. Always first.
Yep. Yeah, you don't have much of a choice.
Right. Yeah. Sigh. Well, I've pretty much been playing a lot of Dark Souls since the last time we had chatted. I picked up playing that and have since sunk in probably about 15 or so hours in the past week. It's been pretty fun. I wouldn't say it's a great leap graphically from the console versions, but I mean, we kind of figured that going in.
Yeah.
But the good news is I didn't have to go download a shitload of mods just to get it working correctly. Yeah. So that's a plus. It looks actually fairly decent. You know, runs at my default resolution. Everything works well. And it's just so much smoother than the console version. So I've had a pretty good time with it so far. Started a new class, playing a cleric. It's interesting. I don't know.
Cool.
I still suck. I'm not going to lie. I've lost count too many times.
Oh, wow.
It's not a good thing.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's kind of the game, right?
Yeah, no, I enjoyed the combat. It's just that then, man, and I hate admitting this, it's just then when I would die, I would have to start over somewhere, and I was like...
And, you know, I really think you should give Dark Souls 2 a try, because it's kind of helped out. I mean, they're twofold, because one, they have this system where you die a lot, you start losing health, which kind of sucks, because, you know, I died because I suck, so letting me go again with half a health bar, not helping me much. But the fact that you get to pretty much teleport between all the bonfires you open up. So, you know, say you get stuck at some random locale, and the bonfire is right around the corner. So you're never having to backtrack a lot, which is really helpful, especially if you know, worry about losing the 10,000 or so souls you had on you. So I think that's a nice improvement. Some people, you know, the purist, elitist, if you will, from the first game, you know, probably be like, well, that's just making the game super easy. It's like, well, you know what? It's making it so it's actually enjoyable for me. So...
Yeah,
I'm not afraid to admit I suck horribly at the game, but I am actually quite enjoying it. Haven't really played it here in a few. Once again, I tell you, with this work week, I cannot make it to play games too often. But
yeah,
I did get a chance to also try out Child of the Light.
Oh yeah,
not very impressed.
No,
not very impressed. It looks fantastic. I mean, I thought it was more of a painted, like all 2D sprite based, you know, just for like HD, sort of like a Blaze Blue type thing, but all the backgrounds are like that, but your character is like a 3D character within it, and it really kind of is jarring. It doesn't really mesh that well. But
I never got into that.
So far, it hasn't really opened up yet, but I'm initially taken, put off on it by like every single line of dialogue rhymes, and it's just like the goofiest nonsense ever. It's just like shut the. It's like, no one wants to listen to this.
Yeah, it's funny. So there was a bit of hype leading up to it, like, what is this? And then since it's come out, no one talks about it.
Right. It got pretty decent reviews. I read a few, like IGN's, GameSpot's, what have yous. I mean, they all didn't trash or anything. I actually got pretty decent reviews, but I definitely know it's not for everybody. Even for me, when I knew what I was going in to expect was a JRPG style game, but it's not really that. Because, you know, it doesn't have the dialogue like a JRPG. Combat's not even like a JRPG. A combat system actually is pretty cool. It's pretty active, so it's not just the sit back and just wait and select the thing. Because there's this like crazy firefly thing used that you can slow enemies and do other crazy nonsense. So, you know, it keeps you in the game, interested. But I don't know. Like I said, I've only played about an hour or so, and the dialogue, I was like, really? Just no. I gotta turn it off. But I said it has some value, and for $15, and you know, Ubisoft, they took a giant leap trying to like make something different. And you gotta give them credit for that. And I know it may not connect and resonate with me 100%, but I know someone out there is gonna enjoy it. So there's that, and then I am so very sad to admit that I took the plunge, and based on the endless requests of my friends, I bought Arma 2 and the expansion, and I'm now playing this DayZ mod.
Oh.
So it's DayZ, but it's a mod of a mod, essentially, because it's this. It's called Epoch, which you know, introduces all kinds of crazy stuff. They have crafting. You can build your own bases. You can build anything anywhere on the map. Like you can like turn this crazy warehouse and just put doors that lock on the front of it. And
that's the
doors.
That's the craze now. So there's another one. Rust is what it's called. Rust.
Right.
My brother got in on that. Just same kind of thing. You can do whatever you want. Mine resources, build stuff. I guess it's taken after.
It's like, kind of like a blend between Minecraft and DayZ.
That's the thing. It's a survival like Minecraft world that's been a lot of fun, but I can't get into those games. I need like an objective.
Well, I mean, you do have an objective: survive, man.
Well, a real specific, you know.
Gotcha. And you know what's really cool about this game, or this mod rather, because it's not specific to DayZ, is that the servers, they create their own little NPC like missions in the game. Like there'll be like a downed helicopter here, and like you gotta like rush over, kill all the NPCs that are around it. You know, you gotta take the helicopter back to whatever base or some shit, and I mean, it's just totally random stuff. It's pretty much go here and kill things, but I mean, it's still
play through the Arma campaign.
Well, now that I have it, I might as well.
It's actually really fun. It's the guys that did Operation Flashpoint, and I used to play a lot of that with some friends. We would land that, had awesome missions and all that.
Oh yeah, that was good times back in the day.
Anything else you've been playing? Is that about it?
No, that pretty much wraps it up. Like I said, not much time to play things, and those games alone sapped up a lot of it.
Yeah.
What have you been up to?
So this week I had a couple videos come out. One, it's a new series of me and my daughter Hera playing games, and first one is Surgeon Simulator. It's just kind of funny to see, you know, a 4-year-old, almost 5-year-old reaction to playing games, and it's just funny what she has to say while I'm playing Surgeon Simulator. That awesome. Released this week, and then for another one we played Goat Simulator, and that video will be up next week. But
that'll be good to watch.
It was fun. She was like laughing so much, especially when the goat would just ragdoll and like. I don't know if it's worth $10, but then I see like everything in the Steam Workshop, like all the mods, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe this is worth something because there's so much you can do. It's just a random sandbox with a goat where your ability. I think I saw
like a parkour mod or something. It's like all the things to add in there. Like what the heck?
Well, because your actions are to headbutt and you lick, and when you lick something, your tongue sticks to it, so you can carry it around, and it's just crazy. I ran into a goat fight club, and by fighting all the goats, I turned into a super goat. So when I headbutt, people go flying across the map. Like.
I cannot believe that game is like actually in existence today. Like what? Like it was just like some joke, and it like really just blew up. And they're like, "Really, y'all want to play? Okay, we'll do it." And it actually is getting a boxed copy release in the UK.
Damn. Well, yeah. So my video will be out next week, so you can see it. And me playing with my daughter, you get reactions from a hardcore gamer, an older gamer, and then like a little kid. That'll
be great.
Getting a phone call. Anyway, so and then what else I've been playing? I was contacted by someone, a developer that had this shoot 'em up called what is it called? Roche something. I don't know why I forgot the name.
This is important details. I don't commit those to memory.
Anyway, it is fun as heck, and I already... Oh, didn't mean to do that. I can actually look it up. What is it?
Yeah, you do that. It does no one any good to be raving about this game that's so amazing, but it's like, oh, you know, that one thing I need to know that, so you can look it up, like the name? Yeah, forget about that.
So, Roche Fusion, yeah. It's available for download. It's it's like shoot 'em up. It's like Galaga and Galaxian, but it's a little different. Like you have your one spot you shoot in, but you can move around, and you're constantly like getting orbs like Geometry Wars that you can then level up your stuff between missions, and it's really awesome. I did Monday's Adam Plays a Shmup will be of this. I already recorded it.
That's your new segment?
No, I've actually had it for a while, but
really,
you know, not everyone pays attention to it. But it's
now I feel bad. I feel bad. I've ignored
feel
this.
Bad. Bitch, get off my show. No, but on my website, up at the top, there's shows, and there's a drop down, and it shows all the different ones. And I got to add, you know, Hera and Daddy Play a Game, but I also have Adam Plays a Shmup, gameplay, podcasts, whatever.
Very cool.
Maybe I don't have a podcast. Anyway.
We ever, just random sidetrack things here, segue to something else, tangent, if you will. Did you ever play Jet Set Radio?
Oh, of course.
All right. I'm going to show you this video here. It's actually a new Kickstarter game. It's called Hover Revolt with the Gamer. Did you see this?
I heard about that, but I hadn't looked into it.
It looks insane. It's like basically it's Jet Set Radio first person on skates, so it's like a Jet Set Radio blended with Mirror's Edge, crazy parkour, jumps all over the... I mean, it looks insane. Awesome. I mean, it doesn't look really developed as of right now, but just the world they have ready to go is... I can just wander around and jump around to my heart's content and be happy camper.
Yeah.
I think they've actually already met their goal. I mean, it's so crazy. I mean, I love Kickstarter. It's good when it's used effectively. I know there's been a few of those cases where, you know, some guys, you know, put up some concept art, racked in a good couple $100,000 and then just disappeared into nothingness. But all these people who actually have a good game developed, it's like, man, that is awesome. That's crazy concepts.
Yeah, so with Kickstarter, I think if you want to be successful on there, you have to have a game made. I mean, at some level, even if it's one level,
right? Or you can just be some really giant developer who's, you know, has name. You know, everyone knows who they are, and they can put up just like one random screenshot and probably get a couple million. But you know, other than that, if you're some no-name person, you better have something to bring to the table. Otherwise, it ain't gonna go.
Well, and that definitely looks cool. And what is it? It's called Hover. Of Gamer. That looks cool. I'm down with that.
Should be something. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it's not going to be smash hit or anything, but yeah, definitely something I could probably kill a few hours with. Sort of kick you. Yeah. What else did you play, man? My bad.
No, that's cool. No, so this game came out today called. How am I forgetting everything?
Sure.
Gunhound. Gunhound EX. It's on Steam. It's a side-scrolling shooter, but like you're a mech. It's like 2D 16-bit graphics. It was on the PSP, and it's now on PC. It looks awesome. The reason I haven't been able to play it yet, even though I got it, was because for some reason the Xbox controller's not working, and some people have said they can't get their controllers to work. So that kind of sucks. So I tried playing keyboard.
X-powder it up, man, and just, you know,
I just like to plug and play. I get tired of like tweaking things, and then my computer crashes, then you got to do everything over again, and I'm like, F everything. But no, I know what you're talking about. And then other than that, I ran into a problem. So I've got the Elgato Game Capture HD, and I was trying to do some console capture because on my PC I can just use XSplit, but for the consoles I have to use this Game Capture, and for some reason when I would turn it on, it was just a black screen. Now, normally, if it's not taking video, it would say error or no video, source, blah, blah, blah. But audio was coming and there was no video, just black screen. And I'm like, what is going on? And I talked to some support, and the support there is awesome. And they were like, man, this is weird. I have no idea. I would suggest just uninstalling and reinstalling, which I was like, okay, that's a good idea. I did that. And so then it was doing the same thing, but then I blue screened, and it had some weird error, and then it would have the name of the device. So I'm like, fuck. I'm like, it probably uses some sort of video processing for this. I wonder if this has something to do with the GPU, or I should have updated my drivers. Well, what I ended up just doing was on Windows 8.1, you can kind of do like a refresh your PC, where it takes about 20 minutes, I would say, and it saves all your files. You do have to reinstall programs, but it kind of refreshes your PC, whatever that means.
So it's like a reformatting everything, but not at the same time. Like you retain a lot of the stuff, but like probably your registry, other things are probably rewritten, and that's a pretty neat little thing, man.
And it only took me 20 minutes to get my apps back on. Like Chrome, because everything is in the cloud anyway. Like it doesn't. I use the OneDrive. It's great, but so this started turning into a video game, but in real life. Let me tell you. So the Elgato's not working. In order to get it, I want to capture video, but the Elgato's not working. The game capture. In order to get that to work, I then have to refresh my PC, but I can't do that until I have an image of Windows 8.1. You can't get it on like USB, so it has to read the files to do it.
Why can't you get it on a USB?
Well, if I had it on a USB, but I didn't have an image, so I had to get an image. But you can't get an image of 8.1. You have to do this trick where you're getting an image of 8. You cancel it. You start downloading 8.1. So it's like one of those RPGs, even though I don't really play them, where you want to get something, but in order to do that, you got to do something else. And in order to do that something else, you have to go do something else. I really felt like I was falling down one of those holes, and I was like...
Right.
So, anyway, all said and
done... So, did you
accomplish
accomplish what you set out to do?
Not yet. All said and done, all I have to do now is test it. I just haven't had time, because I worked all day. And it was like, while I was working, I was like, okay, refresh, do all that, and then after this, I'm going to go test it out, because I wanted to record for another... Hera and Daddy play video games. There's a game on the Ouya called Amazing Frog, The Amazing Frog, and it's like Goat Simulator, except you're a frog. You've seen it?
Yeah.
And it's pretty fun. It's not bad, like especially with friends. It's got 2-player split screen. It's just
fun to mess around with,
mine was
right?
Fun. So, anyway, my brother was just chilling in the living room with me when I was going through the Ouya, and I was like, man, let's just download some of these games. There's a game called Bomb Squad. That is amazing, and I'm hoping maybe this weekend, if I can get my brother-in-law to come over, we can do some like 3-player. It's like, think of Bomberman, but physics. Bomberman with physics. So if something blows up, there's physics to everything, and then there's a punch button. So if you're near someone, you can punch them, and then you pick up power-ups like a sticky bomb, boxing gloves, a freeze bomb, so it like freezes the people. But if you're on a hill, you'll like roll if you're frozen. Like
that's pretty cool. God, I forgot. Well, see, now I'm gonna be the one to forget names. But there's this really crazy physics-based like fighter game on PC, and I don't know. It just looks like everyone's like globs of things, but like it's the most ridiculous things that can happen. I need to find this thing.
Well, I remember one on PSN that plastic kung fu or whatever, ragdoll kung fu. Fist plastic. Yeah.
Interesting.
But I'm telling you, the Ouya, it's got some fun games, and like I think Target. I don't know if it's this week. It was only $70 at Target.
It's not bad. I've never even actually seen them on the store shelves anywhere. They must hide them around in like some crazy cubbyhole.
Video game stuff is kind of like hidden, like in the back. I've noticed.
Right.
It is hidden, but Ouya is definitely worth it.
I mean, for what it is, but then again, I have my entire computer hooked up to my TV in my living room, and with BlueStacks, I mean, I could essentially have that exact same capability. I mean, it pretty much. I mean, are there Ouya specific games out there?
Yeah, there are.
Okay, there are, and those won't run on any other OS.
Well, so far, I'm pretty sure they're all going to start being ported.
And so, I mean, it's a cool device in itself, though, especially, as you mentioned, for emulation capabilities and things like that. It's just, it's set up just right for it.
The emulation is great. And so let me turn this. I had a problem where I have this 6-button Sega controller. Right. Let me show this. It's like a Saturn pad, and it's perfect for 2D games. Well, by the way, you could see. Well, you can't see. I'm like showing off stuff on our stream. I'm like, well, check this out, and you can't even see.
What are you talking about? I'm looking right at you.
Do you have the stream up?
No, I have a Skype call open.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, I have it up in the stream for people to watch. I'm showing Bomb Squad. But anyway, with the Sega pad.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just showing Bomb Squad.
I'm just gonna do that and mute it because I can't. Oh. This 30-second lag time thing is like killing me, man.
Hearing it all.
That's very cool. See, that's what I was talking about. That's a good use of the other screen real estate there.
Yeah.
And that's on Ouya, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty impressive, graphically.
So I got the Saturn pad like I was talking about, and well, I had one in it. It stopped working. I don't know what it was. I plug it in and then it would read and not read. I found like a mod to like fix USB cables, like the end, so I might do that. But anyway, I went ahead and bought this. It was like $7 online for another one. But it's like I'm trying to get a good controller to work when I MAME, when I use MAME. I want a good 2D pad. Everything is working except when I want to go left and right with my ships, like it stops. Like, it will go for a second. And I'm like, why can't I get anything to work right? Because the Ouya controller sucks. Even though the new one's supposed to be better. And you can just plug in a 360 controller, but I didn't want to put down the money for a wired 360 controller. I could buy a wireless.
That's why I got my old school wired 360 controller, man.
So I could buy.
Things had better days.
What I was thinking of doing is getting the wireless dongle, because you can have up to 4 controllers. So that bomb, that bomb
for the one dongle?
Dongle.
For one? Just one? You can have 4 different controllers.
You
get
that 4 on 1, yeah.
That's awesome. All right.
Yeah, even on PC. I have it right here. I don't know if I can stretch it out now. That didn't sound good. But so we're playing Bomb Squad, and we had 4, not 4, but I had 2 people, but you could have 4 at a time. It's just really cool with the Ouya how plug and play and easy it is to use. Like, I kind of think they should just stick it out, even though like people are like, "Oh, the Ouya is doomed." They should just stick it out with their hardware to show people, look, we've got plug in any controller, run your emulators, side load apps all you want. It's just a tiny device. It's cheap. It's got HDMI. It's wireless. I mean, I could see if I'm traveling and I'm gonna be somewhere like a hotel for an extended period of time.
Yeah, that's like perfect for that.
Yeah, I would bring that because I could still do my hardcore gaming and stream stuff, and it's like it's perfect. I was digging on it a lot at the beginning, and there was no practical reason.
Isn't there like someone is making sort of like as the competition for the Ouya? Not that there's much drive for the Ouya anyway, but I think there was someone making something similar to that. Just gonna like get them off the market.
There was a game stick.
It's like Mad Cats or someone was doing some random company.
Mad Cats is doing one too.
Okay.
Yeah, but then there was this game stick, this USB device or HDMI you plug in or something into your TV, and it had a controller. Yeah, there's a bunch doing it. Ouya had it right because it's like it has some exclusive stuff, but it's still pretty open. But yeah, the fact that you could plug in any PC USB joystick and it works.
That is awesome.
I mean, and we're in the menus and everything. Yeah, so.
And with that, I mean, you don't even have to stop emulation at like the old school consoles. I mean, I tell you, like a lot of these things, like I was playing freaking Crash Bandicoot on my Nexus 4, dude. Works fine.
Oh yeah.
I mean, PS1 and Nintendo 64 emulation is really good now. I mean, even for those type of devices. I know they've been around for a long time, but I mean, I don't know. I'm just happy that now I can finally like play Zone of the Enders in like full 1080p on my computer. It's just pretty awesome.
Yeah, no,
which still looks far beyond how the HD re-release of the games went. It's like, God, I'm kicking myself. Spend the money on that.
Yeah, I saw there was a sale for the 360 version for like $7, I think, but I wanted the PS3 version. Apparently, that got a good patch to fix things. Actually, yeah, the patch made it 1080p and took out the frame drop or something. I don't know.
Oh, nice. This is like, really, this game is so old and it still looks... Oh, God. Okay.
But, so anyway, there was some interesting news John Carmack of id Software.
I was actually going to bring that up. I thought that was pretty interesting.
So it's like ZeniMax is all of a sudden like wanting to sue him for. I mean, and who knows? It could be true. I mean, it's just
it very well could be. I mean, there's just such a complicated matter because I mean, it's pretty much accusing him of nonsense. I mean, who knows? It could have happened, could have not. I don't know. I mean, how are they going to prove that? That's the other thing.
Right. What's interesting is like, so back when id Software was first going with ZeniMax, Bethesda is under ZeniMax too. I was like, man, this happens every time. Every time a big corporate company buys a smaller company, it goes to shit. I mean, it does. It's a short term. Corporations think short term, and it's funny how people like to knock Nintendo because they think long term. And even if they're not doing good right now, they're going to be doing good. And in fact, apparently they've got billions until like the 2050 or something. I don't know.
Man, Nintendo is nuts. They're like one of the craziest companies out there because they like I said, they do plan for long term. They're all over the place. They don't focus on one market. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know where this came up. But I was watching like a lunch at work. They had some like "Who Wants to Be a Millionaire" question about Nintendo, and it's like, what industry has Nintendo not been in? And it was like the most random shit, like golf, or not golf clubs, but like rice, like freaking baseball gloves. Like they're all over the place. They did like freaking everything. It's like they don't put all their eggs in one basket, which is
right. And so. And it's very easy to see. I mean, even though I'm just some like 30-year-old guy that I don't know like how to run a business, I've never done that before. But it's like something's gonna happen with id Software, and obviously John Carmack didn't like what was going on,
right?
Because he liked being there. He liked the freedom of programming that he had. Obviously, and they could have done their own VR stuff if they wanted to. He was actually doing stuff with the Rift, but
that's exactly the contention they have, man. Is that. And that's the really kind of weird thing, is that they really may have a case here, because before he was completely dedicated to Oculus, he was working hand in hand. I mean, he was an employee there and at Oculus. And so there's a good chance that, they may have had some, ZeniMax, and then brought it over, and say, hey, check this out. And by all means, they could say, "Hey, no, that's work product from us."
The thing is, usually in a situation like that, there's going to be some signed paperwork between the two parties that are like, anything that was worked on is going to be our property, and
And there are those kind of documentations.
So I don't think it would be that, in my opinion, that simple of a mistake or that
right.
Unless. It's more of Facebook is telling John Carmack, go ahead and do it. We've got the money. They can't stop us. That could have been. But anyway, in any case, I really do think he was working toward an awesome engine for like the Doom 4, and ZeniMax was like, no, just make a Doom real quick. We don't need to do anything. And I think he really got tired of having fun as a programmer and went over to Oculus because
I know he's very, very talented, but man, I tell you what, Id Tech 5 just didn't ever come together. I mean,
no, I remember like seeing it and thinking, wow, this looks interesting. Where's it going to go? They're like cross-platform anywhere. But the thing is, I think it was more of the business end of why it didn't work out rather than what it was. I think ZeniMax is more about like, oh, you want to use our engine? Pay us a lot of money. And
really, that seems like a really stupid business decision by ZeniMax, because look at Epic. Look at Crytek.
Yeah.
All right, their games, okay, they're good. Gears of War is good. I mean, I don't know what else Epic's done here recently, Jack.
But their
Crytek,
engine is everywhere.
Exactly, that's the selling point for them. They make it open-ended for everyone, and actually with the new, they made so many changes to like the Unreal Development Kit. I mean, it's made it so easy for anyone just to pick it up.
Yeah.
And I guess they really had to compete with Unity and whatever else is out there to make it easy for everyone to do that. And like I said, no one has just like $5,000 to shell out to get a license for that stuff, So they made it where it's easily accessible for everyone. If they wanted to make money off of it, it would have done that. But from the beginning, though, that was what really kind of irked me, was the fact that John Carmack was like, no, we're not going to have tool sets for end users to use. It would be too complicated, things like that. And that alone just made it sound like that's not going to, they're not going to survive.
Because you can see right now, everything that has an engine like Unity now. Unity is like everyone's jumping into Unity, transferring everything to Unity, and now, like yesterday, Sony announced all these indie titles for PS4. You know, it's like because these developers have these tools available to them. Tech 5 had games on the iPhone. I mean, if they could have had those tools available. So, unfortunately, I think it was best for John Carmack to leave. It just sucks that ZeniMax did what they did to id Software. You know,
well, I hope this doesn't blow up in anyone's face, man. I mean, geez, he's got himself a good position, and I really have a lot of faith in Oculus, and it's gonna. I mean, I don't know if it's gonna revolutionize anything, but I think that's something. I mean, I'm really looking forward to it. I haven't pre-ordered or anything else, but once it gets to the retail stage, I will certainly be procuring one, just because that's just a really interesting, awesome way to play games, and I think they're onto something. I don't think I'm gonna get myself one of them Omni treadmills and do all kinds of crazy nonsense. I mean, I'm not going all out, but that alone, I could do that. Oh, no.
Yeah, see, I'm not actually that interested in it, but like for something like Strike Suit Zero or any space simulators,
right? Like what's it? Star Citizen. That looks amazing.
And then that reminds me, I played the demo of. Did you watch that cheesy movie Iron Sky?
I did. Cheesy. That was brilliant. AAA.
I liked it. I don't know about
it was
you.
Great.
I liked it. Well, there's a game, and the game is not bad. It's a space combat. I wouldn't say sim, but flight action game. There's a demo, and I think it's on sale for like $3. I think I might pick it up just to get some space combat going on because it has good controls. The right analog stick is throttle up and down, and the left is to turn and wait or.
Pitch
I have to have my hands on it.
Something I don't know.
They've got the controls down for it, and it's actually pretty fun.
Very cool.
If not a little basic, but I like Strike Suit Zero, and now there's the director's cut that fixes a lot of the problems, and it's like $2.99, I think, if you own the game or something. But it's coming out on PS4 as well.
You know, I like that a lot of these indie games or small games that have been released on PC previously are coming to the PS4.
Yeah.
You know, that is really cool to me, and I think that's gonna. And that's why I don't understand why Microsoft's so opposed to doing anything like that. I mean,
they're now back into it. It's just too late. So then we're gonna start seeing the games come out later. But this reminds me of just back in the late '80s, early '90s, where there was more abundance of developers just pushing games out onto like the Nintendo platform, and it had the license by Nintendo, but it was still good quality stuff. It's what Sony's doing. They're making sure they're getting good quality games on their console, and a lot. I mean, in my opinion, I think the PS4 does have a pretty robust library for being as old as it does. And a lot of people though will go, "Oh, that's just an indie game." Well, for me, it's a game.
Right. And for a lot of the base, gamer base, it's going to be a game that, hell, it could be interesting. And for the price point they're at, I mean, they're not charging $60 for this crap. Right. I mean, it's affordable. It's good. I don't see why anyone would be opposed to it, especially when, I'm not going to lie, the library of the true, AAA PS4 games is fairly light at the moment. So it's plenty of stuff hanging around that is good for people to play.
It's like a cool way to have play right on your TV all these cool little indie PC games that have been released but not necessarily optimized too well, or didn't have controller support, or didn't have all the features that a dedicated console has. It's like, it's funny, even though I'm playing like a game that's not as good graphically, I'm playing it in 1080p.
Exactly.
Whereas on the PS3 and 360, I wasn't. So, but anyway, I want to move on to another newsworthy point. The rumors of the next Call of Duty. Well, there's the announcement on May 4th. Activision is going to unveil the new Call of Duty. And rumors it's called Call of Duty Blacksmith. Or I even read something about it being...
Blacksmith?
Have you seen...
Really?
Let me show you the screens for it.
Is it Medieval Times Call of Duty? Or what is this?
Actually... It's not a bad idea.
That would be cool, actually.
Kevin Spacey apparently is the villain in it.
Really?
I don't know if it's true, but they found a sound clip on the internet, and then the sound clip... I don't get this. Let me go back to that picture. Well, if you can see. I don't know if you got the stream pulled up.
Oh, let me go over here to it.
So they took the audio file and put it through a sonic visualizer, and it's a picture of a guy holding a gun.
Oh,
I don't
wow,
get
okay.
that. It's like, do people hide images within audio file? I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I would know.
So anyway, where's it? There was a picture that was released. Let me see if I can find it, because it looked good actually, and it looked. Oh, you gotta be kidding me! Second page on NeoGAF already. Oh.
You know, I'm just not really all about the Call of Duty series. Not gonna lie to you, but
For me, they're fun. They're not like anything amazing, but
no. I mean, I didn't actually get to play through Ghosts. I played.
Ghosts was I gotta say that had a fun. That and Black Ops 2 had some amazing campaigns.
Really, I got bored as heck on the first Black Ops 2. I just couldn't get through that, and I just
Try to finish it because it has some parts where, depending on how you play, you change the game.
Really.
Like there's a part where if you don't get you got a guy on top of of your vehicle shooting, and if there's an area that fires shooting out of the roof, and if you miss it, he's fine. But if you happen to go through it for the rest of the game, his face is damaged.
Oh wow.
Being burned. And then
That's
there's
interesting.
there's some other stuff like that. But anyway, here's the screenshot of Idris Elba. If that's really him, as one, and you can tell it's all futuristic. They're wearing these crazy Warframe style helmets, and
Yeah.
they've got all this metal on them.
I thought it was supposed to be a World War I game.
Well, that was a rumor that I think got debunked quickly.
Okay.
Because,
If I, like I said, I haven't really paid attention. I see Call of Duty news, I kind of look the other way, but, you know, shame on me. Whatever.
well, no, it's funny because it was submitted to this website where anyone could submit news and they get paid based on clicks. So they think someone made that up. So then Jason Schreier from Kotaku then made up a story, submitted the new Fallout going to be made by zombies. And they posted the story, and it was spreading. And it
Oh
was,
my god.
he was proving a point. But anyway.
Yeah.
So they showed some other pictures, like by the Golden Gate Bridge, and someone confirmed that they saw something about it being at a Golden Gate Bridge. I think two rumors I've heard was that it is another Modern Warfare. It's like the next Modern Warfare title. Or it's going to be a whole new game. So
I think they should ditch the Modern Warfare crap and try something new. Not that they've done bad, but I mean, geez, how many games in that same vein can you make for...
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it gets to a point where they were just using it for the name. Okay, and another bit of news is, rumor is Nintendo has some hardware to show off at E3.
Really? We thinking new handheld, or what are we thinking?
You know what? When I'm thinking out here, Nintendo doesn't really revise their consoles too often.
Right, that's why...
They did with the Super Nintendo and Nintendo, but that was back then, and that was like one revision. With the Wii, they did, but that was like way later in life, and that was more of just like a cheap, non-internet, little console.
Right.
They could be coming out with a new Wii U to be more appealing and to get the message out, and maybe rebranding.
Like, what do you think they're gonna change up on it?
Well, maybe make the console look a little cooler, because right now it just looks like nothing. It looks like some black box you have. At least the Xbox One looks interesting, and the PS4's angles look cool. But the Wii U just looks... It's like... It could be a redesign of the gamepad, maybe smaller, or keeping the same screen. Or it could be another 3DS. So... With the DS, we had the Fat, the Lite, the DSi, and the XLs.
I have so many of those things.
And with the 3DS, we've had the 3DS, the 3DS XL. Well, we don't count the XL, the 3DS, the 2DS, and maybe, I don't know. But I'd be curious. I think Nintendo is trying to do something. So
When you do something, I mean, I know they got money and they're going to survive, but for right now, they are kind of stagnating. And not that I ever really had a lot of faith in the Wii U, but they really need to get some. Did you end up buying a Wii U?
Yes, we haven't talked since then, but yes, I did. I got a Wii U back in February, I think, and
Okay.
dude, that was a February of fun. Let me tell you, I played so much New Super Mario Brothers U, which is fun. It was like going back to like Super Mario World, and then New Super Mario Luigi U, which totally different game type, where you beat a level within 30 seconds, but it's all about how fast you can jump and get all 3 coins and get out. And then Super Mario 3D World, hands down, if I played it last year, it would have been my game of last year.
Wow.
So good. And I've got.
You know, I'm going to be tempted to get one eventually, and that's the thing, I just like the Wii, I waited till they had a nice collection of games, and then I procured, and I was a happy camper. But for right now, it's like, but the ones you just mentioned, I'm sure I would have a ball with all of them.
And it's funny you mentioned the Wii actually has a great library. Like, what's cool about the Wii U is it has a Wii mode. So when you're in the Wii U, you select Wii mode. You can turn on the Wii U with your Wii remote, select Wii mode, and then you just put in Wii discs or go to the eShop and play your games and buy your games. Cool. It's great how they have that. But also I gotta suggest, do you have a 3DS?
I do not. I'm not big in the handheld game scene.
That Zelda, the Link Between Two Worlds.
Right. Yeah, I saw that. It seemed pretty interesting. I'm a sucker for Zelda games. A lot of people didn't like Skyward Sword, but I was like, it's a good reason just off my Wii, and it was. I had a great time with it, and I tell you what, regardless of how the new one, whenever they end up releasing some info on it, because they know they're working on one, it.
Oh yeah.
And as soon as that comes out, I'm sure I'll be suckered into buying one.
Yeah, that's. I accidentally lost. Man. Don't you hate it when down at your taskbar you have like a bunch of icons and you like select a slow loading program instead of just the window you wanted to open?
No, I'm fairly accurate with mouse clicks here. I don't mess up like that.
Okay, that could be my problem then. Hold on, my Skype is being weird. Anyway, so I think with Nintendo, I think I won't say come back, but I think Nintendo will really kind of grasp more of what Sony's doing right now and what Nintendo did do in the late 80s and early 90s, which was partner with third parties to release some cool games. I think Nintendo, and I almost don't blame Nintendo. Through the late 90s and 2000s, overinflated budgets, came out with all these crappy AAA titles. Nintendo was kind of like backing up, and they're like, let's just make our games, But I think now that they can see, because the Wii U, even the Wii has been getting some cool new indie games, and I think the Wii U is getting Stealth Incorporated 2 exclusively.
I didn't see that.
So
it's already got Bayonetta 2. That didn't come out yet, has it?
No. Yeah, so Nintendo
that shows you how much I know.
The right idea, and I don't think they're going to fail. They're not doomed.
No. They got way too much money to fail. They're not going to...
It's more of they've been confusing gamers because Nintendo is trying to separate itself from the problem that the industry is running. And the problem the industry is having is not the problem Nintendo's having. The problem Nintendo's having is trying to convince people they are not having a problem. But it's the industry. I know it sounds weird, but it's like what I was talking about the last show, where there's only like a third of the AAA titles are going to be made this year because it's not cost effective anymore. So
exactly. I mean, there's just so many, and that's actually what probably has sparked a lot of the delays and things like that. I mean, Witcher 3 was on track, ready to go, and then the release window was right when Dragon Age 3 was coming out, and they're like, ooh, maybe we should just push this. Not that I think they're really direct competitors for any means, but I mean, it's like, why release the same genre of a game within the same month when you'd push it 3 months, polish it up a little bit more, and potentially have everyone ready to buy your game instead of having to decide, do I want this or that?
Yeah.
So because there's only so much money the consumers have. So.
Well, yeah, that actually brings up another thing. So Watch Dogs,
Yep.
that's been getting pushed back. I'm interested in playing it. I don't think I'm gonna put down 60 bones for it. I think I might game fly it. But they did confirm that they are now focusing on the Wii U version.
And that's cool.
So that was in the cards the whole time.
Yeah.
I think it was just they understood too.
I mean, the whole multiplayer element that they got going with the tablet and whatever, just it works so well for the screens on the Wii U and things like that. And I think a lot of elements of it would work pretty well for that. I haven't yet see what it looks like on the Wii U, because everyone's always dogging the hardware.
Yeah.
And, and probably for good reason. I don't really think it's up to snuff, but
yeah, I don't think it could pull off like Second Son visuals, but Super Mario 3D World looked fantastic. Like, there was not one blemish in design. There was not one thing you're saying, oh, they're being held back by having these cartoony visuals. It's like, right. It was 1080p. The fur on the cat suit was fantastic. The lighting, everything. So yeah, I was just looking up something real quick and came across that Blu-ray is dying. I guess Sony had announced, they were telling investors or stockholders, whatever they're called now, that that not to expect losses pretty much in the Blu-ray department, because people just aren't buying Blu-rays since people can just
stream everything.
Stream Netflix or iTunes apparently is a big factor in that, where people are just downloading or renting movies through iTunes. So
not a lot of people want to get out and do that. No one. I mean, and the fact there's just so much media and things out there. I don't think people want that wall of DVDs all the time. It's like I
used to have one and I loved it. And then what happened was, when was this that happened? I got to a point where I was like, man, I'm gonna focus on my games, so I don't need to have like all these DVDs. I'm just gonna focus on my games. So I sold my DVD collection. I kept some interesting titles though, like some Japanese imported movies. But I did the same thing with my CDs. I used to have a big CD collection. I'm surprised I didn't get rid of that sooner. But yeah, I got rid of all my CDs. I have a small Blu-ray collection. I have the Iron Maiden Blu-ray, I have Transporter. That's about it. Alien vs Predator. Blu-rays. The thing is,
I have like Earth, the series, the documentary series.
That makes sense to have that around. But the thing is, like, I love collecting physical copies of games. I think the whole collecting, more than ever, is a hobbyist activity. Before, people can have a DVD collection just because you can go and buy a DVD. Mm-hmm. But now collecting is more hobbyist than ever. It's like if someone has a collection of DVDs, it's because they like DVDs. I've noticed from my game hunting lately, people are all about the VHSs. People are looking for VHS tapes of their favorite movies and collecting VHS. I went to a movie trading company in Arlington, Texas recently, and I walked in there and they had tons of VHSs. They even had a new thing now, toys, but not just like any toy. It's like old toys that they just put in plastic bags and they write a description of what it is. And it would be like an old Star Wars figure, an old Spawn figure, or something I never heard of from the 80s. It's like this collecting thing is a market, which is good and bad. Bad of that is people inflating the value of something, but it's good because I think the 80s mass production really ramped up for goods, so like things are still there for people to get. Like just recently I sold like my Star Wars action figures and my Alien vs Predator action figures, and I didn't want to at first, like in my X-Men figures. It's like, man, I don't know if I want to. But then looking online, I see on eBay I could get any of these figures for like $3 to $8 a piece.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're just mass-produced. So as long as people keep things in relatively good shape, people can still collect. So that brings to current goods. We're getting all these titles on the PS4. Like, you see the list of indie titles coming out on PS4. None of those are going to be retail copies or packages. It's all going to be downloads. So it's like, what is going to be... I think for the gaming collector, it's really going to be just memorabilia or old school games.
Yeah, and I don't know who it was. It wasn't EA, I don't think. I don't know. It was a fairly big developer who was talking that, here very soon they're going on like everything, like box copies of things going away. So whoever's got that collection of crazy amounts of games is going to potentially be worth a lot here soon, because they're going to become a relic here pretty quick.
It's crazy because there's so many people I follow, like collectors that I follow, and I saw a picture today of someone's entire PS2 collection. He had like a wall in the basement of just PS2 titles, and it's like, that is so awesome. If I had the time and money, I would love to collect every single game possible, but within my means, my goal is, if it's a cool retro title I come across that I like, I'll pick it up. If it's complete, also, it has to be complete. I won't get just
of course.
And it's mainly shmups. Shoot 'em ups is my number one. So,
surprise, surprise.
Yeah. But anyway, I don't know I think that's it for today. I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to.
Oh, I had some things, but hey,
we save it for next time.
Exactly, exactly.
But yeah, we got to get back to that whole format where we had it written out, typed out. We knew.
Yeah. See, I was using it as my go-to this time, but you were totally winging it. So I was like, let's just go with this. This works.
And it kind of worked this time, but I think we could have it a little more structured, especially if I already have everything working. So then we can
right. Yeah. We'll see if you can nail that next week.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
fingers crossed, man.
Well, guys, thanks for tuning in. Whoever tuned in, and we'll talk.